We are back, and welcome to the post-game show presented by the Maroon Club. Every gift matters every year. Join the Maroon Club today. The Lehigh contingent celebrating the victory of 152 out in the center of the field. The Lafayette players lined up to pay homage to the Lafayette alma mater. And then we'll have a final chat. We'll have highlights. And we'll call it a season. Get ready for Sacred Heart next year.
Sacred Heart. He's played them a couple times, but a bit of rebuilding has got to go on with this Lafayette team. And, I think Frank Devani's got his work cut out for him, but nothing that he can't get done. He's done it in the past, and I'm sure he could do it again in the future, but he's got a tough task ahead of him.
Mike, you have to like what we saw today in the Lehigh football team in terms of going into the FCS playoffs.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. I think they're going to definitely be someone that's going to be reckoned with. The question is, they're probably not going to get a bye and probably not get a home game. Patriot League gets disrespected a little bit in that fashion, but they've won enough games and they are a good football team. Give them credit. I mean, they lost the first 2 games of the season. They come back, they run the table, 9 straight wins in a row. Shafniski, a little bit of Brad Mays here or there. They got a good running back in Bragalone. They've got excellent wide receivers and a much improved defense, something that's held them back in the past, an Achilles heel. So they're going to be a tough matchup for someone that possibly maybe underestimates a Patriot League team. So we got to wish them well in the playoffs to represent the Patriot League.
There you get a look at Drew Reed as he completes his career, as we mentioned, over 7,000 yards passing the football. Had a phenomenal freshman year. And again, quarterbacks always get all the praise and sometimes all the blame. And, you know, sometimes it really all depends on who's in front of you blocking and who's running the football. So you can't do both. Let's go down to Frank Devani.
Coach, your good friend Joe Madden was here over the weekend, and I had a chance to talk to him. He talked about the process. It wasn't the kind of year you wanted, obviously, but the process goes on. Talk to us about what you'll say to the kids and how you'll lace them up again.
Well, first off, you got to congratulate Andy Cohen and his team and staff, for a tremendous year, and our hat goes off to him, and we're going to be rooting for him all the way. Represent our conference. He'll do a great job in the playoffs. In terms of our young men, it's certainly not a way you want to end, but I told them yesterday, I'll tell them again now, they leave here as champions. They're walking out with a championship ring from freshman year. They're walking out with the biggest win in Lafayette Lehigh football history, the win in Yankee Stadium. And they've had 2 tough, disappointing years, but I know these young men are resilient. They'll bounce back from anything, and they'll do well, and we'll bounce back as well. You've been around as long as I have. This stuff cycles, so I've been on both sides of this thing, and today it's to congratulate them.
Well, we had that little drone thing going on. We're going to get out of here in just a minute, Coach. But, if you probably didn't have it, you were busy. You didn't have a chance to see the aerial view of this stadium and this fan base and this campus. There's an awful lot of positives going on, Coach. We got to put these last 2 years behind us and go on from here.
Hey, keep your head down and keep grinding. That's the only way I know.
Coach, thanks for everything all year long.
Best to you guys, and thank RCN for everything.
You got it, Coach.
Okay.
Gary Michael, back to you guys.
All right, John, thank you very much. John will go and reposition himself as you get a look at that's a great shot from the drone. As we certainly thank those people for giving us a little bit of an extra as part of the production today. I think it is time for the highlights. The bad news is most of them will be Lehigh highlights. Here's Mike.
Yeah, game recap did not start well for Lafayette. They turned the ball over twice. This is the second one here, picked off by Riley O'Neal, and he's going to get that good field position, which Lehigh enjoyed all day long. And Troy Pelletier with the 16-yard touchdown into the end zone. That 7-0 lead. Lafayette again turns it over, and that turns it back to Shafniski. Gatlin Casey, 15-yard touchdown. 14-0 lead, much like 2015. Lafayette did answer down 24, 17. They're going to get a 56-yard catch and run here by Dylan Wadsworth, who had a big day today with over 6 catches. You're going to see it again. Down the middle, makes a move on the freshman safety, and Lafayette really attacked the middle of the field well. We talked about Drew Reed with over 250 yards passing. They did a lot of that down the middle, but this was a huge play too. 2 missed tackles, kind of the story of Lafayette at the end of the year against Colgate and against Lehigh. They really struggled to kind of square people up. This was a 4th down and 1 conversion where Lafayette went for it. They went for an outside run. didn't get anything. A lot of penetration, a microcosm of the entire year. Dom Bragalone, over 100 yards rushing today. He was definitely part of that Lehigh balance. Throwing the football to the receivers, running the football with Dom Bragalone at the end of the half. Lafayette, with 4 seconds left, tried to roll out. They got sacked. They got nothing out of that possession. They came back. Lehigh, first possession of the second half, right down the field. And you see Troy Pelletier, he's going to take it in again. And then a touchdown here as well. So Lehigh just kind of rolling it up a little bit on Lafayette. Lafayette did come back. They're going to hit C.J. Emil here in the back of the end zone. Nice catch by him. C.J. will be back next year. A lot of speed in his pocket. And you get another look at it right there. A wide open receiver, back of the end zone. Drew Reed had 2 touchdowns today, his 11th and 12th of the year. Deshaun Brown's going to take one in late. The 2-point conversion, Blake Searfoss, Lafayette practiced that one all week. They wanted to pull something out. It was a throwback to the quarterback, Drew Reed, for the 2-point conversion. Lafayette goes down 45-21. Not the season, but things to build on. You got a lot of young guys, Gary, and you know what? You and I will be back here again next year with the same passion, pride, and purpose.
Well, we certainly hope so. I've enjoyed it for sure, working alongside of Mike, and Mike will be on the sideline for our basketball games. John Leone will be sitting alongside of me, and again, a big thanks to John Beat Bowman for all of his help. So this is it for me as I send it down to John Leone, to Phil Ing, and to Mo Bennett.
Thanks so much, Gary. You're absolutely right. Despite the difficult season, it has been fun working with these guys. And Maurice, we don't have a whole lot of time to go to you quickly. I talked to Coach about the process. It's been a difficult year. Through your eyes, where do we go from here?
Hey, where do you go from here? Lafayette is a young football team, a lot of young guys in the starting lineup that will come back next year. So the process begins now of getting back to this point. Obviously, you know what it feels like to be in a play against a championship caliber team. Lehigh was a better program today in this season. Got to get in this beautiful weight room over here. Start morning running, start spring practice, and get back at it.
You got it. Phil, as you looked at this team all year long, what are the positives? Where are the building blocks that you see going forward?
Well, building blocks, I don't know if it's too much of a positive, but we really have to help out that offensive line. We need some help there. Obviously, it's been our inability to run that complementary offense, to run the game, to be able to then pass the game. But some positives, you got some guys that got some good experience in that receiving core. Obviously, Matt Mrazek, who had terrific season. You got a couple other guys with some experience there. You got Mike Dunn as a running back. So there's some positives there, but you also got 2 senior quarterbacks, with a lot of experience and no one behind them that really had any playing time whatsoever. So there's going to be a lot of work to be done there.
Well, the young freshman McCrum comes in highly touted. We'll wait to see how he develops. That's going to be an unknown. But fellas, again, we're going to check out here, but I have to tell you, in my first time in this particular chair, you guys have been terrific. It's been great to lean on you guys. Obviously, Michael and Gary, leading the charge from up top. It's been a difficult year, wins, losses wise. It's been a great year for LSN. We'll continue onward from here with the basketball season. Hope to see you guys over at Kirby at some point. And for all of you, from all of us, that'll do it from Fisher Stadium.